Hi there, everybody. Welcome to another Stay on Target review. Today we're going to be looking at the Star Wars Vintage Collection E-Wing. And there's a few features I want to go over. First, there are no firing missiles, unlike a lot of the ships from the Hasbro Kenner line. There's a few play features here. The first one that's really neat is that the cockpit slides open, very much like the Naboo N1 Starfighter. I've got got a pilot in here just to show for scale. That's your regular kind of Rebel pilot. Additionally, what we can do, we'll put him to the side. Additionally, we've got the astromech cargo area. Oh yeah, just for reference, this is 10 Num. He's a Rebel pilot. And then we've got Mickey Mouse's R2-D2 droid, or R2 droid, I guess, from the Jedi Starfighter. I can review that again on another day, but he's just your classic kind of build-a-droid figure. So they fit in there just perfectly fine. I tried out a few different astromechs. All of them worked fairly normally. There's a couple unusual ones that I think that are just slightly above 3.75 scale. And if you don't get them straight in there, I'll just show you here. On right here, there's like a little lip. It's a little hard to see. There we go. There's a little lip, and if the leg of the astromech is just like a smidge too tall, it does not fit in there. There's some cargo space for some blasters, maybe a few items, things like that. That's entirely up to your imagination. I'll just show you the underside here. You can see that the landing gear pops out, and I'll show you how that works. They just close up. Now, the one negative I have on this are these little flaps here. They are very loose and very easy to come open when you are flying the ship. These ones are fantastic. This one snaps in there nicely. Those lock into place great, but these bottom ones here come loose very quickly. Here, I'll just shake it a bit, and you can see just a tiny bit of shaking, not too much, and one of them already came loose. Now you can snap it back in, but as you're see, it's not even very much, and just like a little bit of dogfighting, and it pops right out. Same, this side isn't so bad, but yeah, that's maybe it's just mine. Might just be mine. I'm not 100% certain on that because I only have the one, but it could be related to just the little clip. It's not, it's just held in by this little sliver here, which you can see is just not very much to hold that in place. But, I mean, to open it up, it's nice. These pop out great. And then these ones as well pop out wonderfully. There's some great detailing in there. This is your classic kind of vintage collection. The only pieces that you had to build were the wings snapped on, and then the blaster turrets are this kind of mechanism, very similar to the X-Wing. And these, you can see, they have it only fits on the one wing, so you won't really get them mixed up. It's pretty hard to get mixed up. If, just for reference, the little small bit fits on the interior of the wing, and so it should be fairly flush on the outside. And I'll just open this up here. There we go. Now this one is a little harder to get out. You can see it's a bit of a struggle, but that pops out nicely. I believe these are cluster missiles, if I'm not mistaken, on the E-Wing. At least the Expanded Universe one, I believe, had cluster missiles. I think they were tracking, or I could be getting it mixed up with what was the V-Wing at the time. The Expanded Universe E-Wing obviously had that large blaster on the top. This one doesn't. I actually don't mind it. I kind of think it looks sleeker like this. It doesn't look like it has as much firepower. Here, I'll show you the R2 going in there. You can see it kind of, initially he'll sit loose, and then if you just push down, he holds in there more snugly. And then this just clips in on the top, and then down, and you'll hear a little click. And same with the cockpit, just slides open. Now, one other small criticism on the cockpit. You'll see it doesn't fit flush, and that's due to the sliding mechanism. It's only connected by this clip down here. It's only part of the way. So it holds this part of the cockpit in perfectly fine. The windshield fits in there nice. From a side profile, it looks fine. From a top profile, it looks okay. But the second you bring it in line with your face to look at like an oncoming shot, you can see that gap there. Now you can push it down. It looks like it should collapse, but there's nothing holding it there, so it just kind of holds a little loose. But it's not going to come open. That's one nice thing. I'll show you some of the interior shots of the cockpit there. They didn't give you any decals for this, so just the way that it is the way that it is. That's just all that's in there. Oops, knocked my camera a little bit. But it looks really nice in there. You can see the joystick and the targeting computer. All that stuff is in there nicely. It looks fantastic. It is the blue from the Mandalorian. Which I believe is a New Republic blue that the Resistance then later adopted. Because I believe that this is a New Republic E-Wing, if I'm not mistaken, which does lean towards more of an expanded universe side of things, but I know that they did have the New Republic in the new sequels there, and that's just how easily it slides in. You fit 10 num in there. I think he's a, I've got the classic edition here. You can see 10 num, and that's where he is there. And I think he's from Return of the Jedi, if I remember correctly. I believe he's a Return of the Jedi. We got Wedge, and then Avril. I can never pronounce the last name. Krynid, I believe. Yeah, so all in all, really great ship. I think it looks fantastic. I think it would really look good in red. If you got another one of these and repainted these parts as red, I think that would look really nice. And a slightly darker gray would look really good. But that's just a personal preference. Honestly, the blue looks nice. There's a lot of detail in this. I'll get it up close so you can see. They've got all the little markings. What's nice is they didn't add like squadron markings. So like on the X-Wing where they have the 3, I think that might be unique to X-Wings if I'm not mistaken. But then this way it can be any kind of ship at all, or any pilot that you want within sort of like a blue squadron maybe, or something like that. Looks really nice on the side. They even did those. None of these are decals. That's all printed on the actual plastic, which is nice. Didn't come with any decals whatsoever, which is almost a first. But I think that's almost par norm for some of these slightly more expensive vintage collection ships. Anyway, that's the Star Wars Vintage Collection E-Wing. I hope you enjoyed my review. If you have any other questions, put them in the comments and I'll try and reply. Thanks, and have a great day.